Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Amma. We've got Bindu, Nayan, and Mohammed. And we are team sitting across there. I still don't know what that means. There's a bit of background. These three are computing students, but I'm a medical student, and I am way out of my depth here. So I couldn't really contribute much, but these guys have done some great work on something that we call Glass Sonata. How does that sound? Not tagline. Okay. Even the greatest musicians start off as beginners, and it can be quite daunting for when you do start off. You've got your instrument, and you might not have a teacher who's always there to help you. You literally don't know what you're doing. You don't know if you're doing anything right at all. And there are many students, young and old, who will sit at home and they'll have a go playing a piece of music, but they don't know if they're doing it right, and that affects their learning, because if you don't know where you're going, you can't reinforce the good techniques, and you just end up reinforcing the negative ones. So this is where our app comes in. So for someone who's wearing Google Glass and has our app, they look at the sheet of music that they're playing from and take a picture. Google Glass then saves the picture and sends it to our server that's running a library that was actually developed by a former Imperial student. We found it online. It's open source. And that takes the music from the sheet and converts it into an audio file. And then the library will send the link to the audio file back to the Google Glass, which will then play the music to you. So, despite working on it for quite a while, we do still have some teething issues. The work that involves Google Glass is quite straightforward in terms of just getting it to take a picture, send it to a server, and then play the music. The issue then comes with the library actually transliterating the musical notes and turning it into music. So when we do run the demo for you, it's not how we would want it to be, but it will still register the picture and then send back the audio file. And demonstration.
Hi guys. So as you can see on the screen, I've got a simple set of musical notes. I'm trying to send this to the server and get an audio file back. So let's get it up. Yeah. So now I look at the notes, and if I say OK Glass, recognize music, and now it shows me what the musical notes that I took was, and if I agree with that, I can just tap it. Yeah. And now the file is being prepared to be sent to the server. Another simple tap will ensure that the file is being transmitted to the server, and very soon I should be expecting it to play the sound.
Okay, so as we said, this is still early stage, so we're looking more towards developing it in the future before it would even be available to the public. But our first priority right now is getting that library working. So we've got two options: either we refine the current one that we're using, or we build our own from scratch. But whatever happens, we do need to make sure that it is taking the notes that it sees and that it can work with a local, well, I wouldn't say the camera in the Google Glass is bad, but it isn't good enough for the library that we're using at the moment. So we need to fix that. Also, what we're thinking about doing is displaying notes on the screen and highlighting as they're being played, so actually being more involved as an educational tool. And play back through different instruments, because if you're trying to learn the piano, it's no good hearing that music being played by a violin or something, or vice versa. So that's something else that we're looking at. Is there anything else on that? No? Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Questions?
So did you think of this as more of an educational application, or was it more like you see a commercial use?
The thing is, the team, I think we personally thought of it as an education application mostly. Because personally, I've studied music, and whenever the teacher comes and gives me a set of notes, I have no idea how it should be played in my head. And I thought something like this would be really valuable. We all know that Google Glasses at the moment are really expensive, but in the future it might be a household equipment. And I think it's definitely applicable in those scenarios.
How do you partition the music? At the moment you're going to take a whole sheet, and then what are you going to do, play the entire sheet?
Yeah, so...
It's a difficult way to learn to play a complicated piece.
Yeah, so that's another feature that we are thinking of. So we mentioned that an extension would be to highlight some of the notes while they're being played. So another feature that we thought was to actually swipe through and stop at a certain note and carry on playing from there, so that the person can play part by part rather than the whole set together.